go. All right. Now let's begin. In 3, 2, 1.
Hello? Are you ready? Yes. Then we'll begin.
It's another happy new liturgical year here at Monday Morning Catholic, and we're glad you're here for the beginning of year 3. This is Monday Morning Catholic episode number 98. Ah, yes, I had to get the good sisters to sing today. A nice little chant there as we begin our third, can you believe it or not, season of the Monday Morning Catholic podcast. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. I am your host, Joanne Mercier, sans lower third. Since nothing is working right, Murphy must have showed up at my house today, so nothing apparently is going to go right. Hopefully the podcast will. But we have, I believe, a full house of people here today. And let's tell you who they are. A couple of them you do know. Of course, there's Nancy Smith. We'll start with her since she's way over to the right there. Nancy Smith from St. Teresa Christopher's Parish. Good morning, Nancy. How you doing?
I'm good. Good morning, Joanna. Good morning, everybody.
Yes, this is 2 weeks in a row for you. I'm happy.
I know. I'm shooting for a record.
Good. Let's hope so. And, of course, their middle secret square is Linda Reed from St. Thomas Parish in Providence, Rhode Island. Good morning, Linda. How you doing?
Good morning. That's me, a secret square. Yes.
If you're old enough to know who the secret square is, then usually it was Paul Lind. So
I'm fine. I'm not anywhere near as funny as Paul Lind, but I'm doing well in my favorite season of the liturgical year. Except for the Triduum.
I was going to say, it's my seventh. And, of course, over to the end, pitch hitting for Steve Romano is Jason Herview, St. Brendan's Parish, Riverside, Rhode Island. Good morning, Jason. How you doing?
Good morning, everybody.
Yeah, we needed a male voice here, and I just, for the next couple of weeks while Stephen is away, so we kind of roped Jason into this. So
yay,
that's good.
Jason. A fresh point of vieue.
Yes, and he's also younger, has no idea what the Hollywood Squares is all about.
Yeah.
Nope.
Really?
Not a clue.
Now I truly feel old, Jason.
Yes.
So do I.
I know what The Price is Right is.
All right.
Oh, well,
that's been running for 80 years, so.
I should have used that instead.
Come on down.
Come on down.
Still on the air. And also Drew Carey is the host, so.
Yes.
Okay. Hey, guys. First Sunday of Advent under our belts. How are we all doing? Have we prepared either way? Well, that's next week. But
that's next week, yeah.
We've gotten through the end times unscathed?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah, we're in a new cycle year.
Yes.
And which one is it, Jay?
See.
Wait a minute. That's the thinking. That's when we need the thinking music.
We just finished year.
Yes. Year C.
So which cycle are we in, ladies?
C.
We're in the C cycle. Very good. Mostly from the Gospel of St. Luke.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
The Gentile view. As Matthew is the Jewish view, and Mark is just the facts, ma'am. And that was all. Every time I taught it, none of them got the reference.
Yeah, no.
It was just like,
that's even older than
Would
Hollywood
you expect
Squares.
them to?
I
going back.
Dragnet, and there was a movie in the 90s.
That's right, there was a movie in the
Yeah, but most of these kids were born in probably mid-90s.
I know.
Mid-90s, yeah.
Feel real old.
Kids, huh?
Yeah, kids.
Kids.
Yeah.
So Luke is our primary gospel writer this year, and we'll be listening to things there's a lot of explanations in the Gospel of Luke, because he assumes his audience knows nothing about Jewish custom.
Yeah.
So he explains everything about Jewish custom in this year. So if you pay real close attention, you'll learn what the Jews in the first century were all about and what their practices were and who their major players were and stuff. So that's this liturgical year, cycle C. They should have colors.
Yeah.
Because if they had colors, people would remember it better.
Color coding, yes.
Color code the liturgical years. That would help.
Yeah, well, it would be confusing because then you have the liturgical colors. So.
Okay, your point.
You know.
Let's use the colors we don't use. Okay, plenty of them.
Cycle magenta, you know.
Chartreuse. How about chartreuse?
Chartreuse.
Turquoise is another one.
Yes.
You know, we could use those. Nancy thinks we're absolutely Looney Tunes right now.
No, I'm fine.
It's all right.
I just had a busy day yesterday, so I'm kind of foggy.
Oh, okay. So it sounds like everybody's weekend was a blur.
Did we all have a good Thanksgiving?
Yes.
Yes, we did.
Yes, we did.
Of course, lots of food. So that's always good.
Always. Yeah.
We're still digesting all that food.
We had some marvelous guests this year. They were wonderful eaters.
Well, that's good. I wasn't there hacking all over everybody from last year.
No, we had a couple of. I wasn't expecting any guests, but as usual, 2 or 3 people popped up in the last couple of days before Thanksgiving, and it was like, oh yeah, come on in. So we had some good eaters, man. I was scrounging around for leftovers.
Really? Wow.
Yes.
It's that grad student with a hollow leg, I'm telling you.
Yes.
Skinny as a rail, but boy, can he put it away.
You bet. I mean, he went back. I don't know what he does with it, but he's so skinny.
He doesn't eat it. It goes into a pocket for later on.
Oh, my Lord. And he took a plate home. So, but he's a great kid.
Well, can you believe this is the beginning of our 3rd year of this podcast?
No. I cannot believe it, really.
Quick.
And we haven't hit show 100 yet.
No, I know.
Yeah.
I can't believe we're beginning our 3rd year.
Yep.
We
started on the first Sunday of Advent.
Yes.
In 2013.
That's crazy. It doesn't seem like that long ago.
No, it doesn't. It does if you go back to episode 2, however, and start listening to some of the crazy, electronical problems.
Oh Lord.
The tech problems from about episode 2 through episode 25.
Okay.
Enormous.
Then you got on the ball.
and we weathered through it.
Yeah, we did weather through it because Joanne was learning on the fly.
Well, there we go.
Nobody else here wants to do it.
No, nobody else wants
Jason's up. Jason's up.
Well, Jason is the youngest. And Jason probably knows more.
We'll come and celebrate the 1,000th season with year with you, episode.
If we make it that long, I would be wee surprised, but to take a bad stab at language there. But no, this is the beginning of the 3rd year, and we will have our anniversary show in 2 weeks on the 13th, and that's also, believe it or not, the diocesan beginning of the Year of Mercy.
Yes.
Boy, does that coincide.
Yes.
Tell me that is not a coincidence.
We need a little mercy.
Need a little. Whoa, geez! Now I'm going to be rewriting that song. From "We Need a Little Christmas" to "We Need a Little."
Yes. We need a little mercy.
You know what I'm going to do now. Everybody knows. If you don't know this,
we need one of those mercy.
Right this very minute.
It does work. That's nice.
Open the porta sancta.
There you go.
I just start thinking of this.
Yes.
Okay, and it could get really. Watch this. I'll have something for it.
Good.
Because and then you'll have to sing it.
We'll sing it
live.
Send it to us. And we'll sing it.
Well, the team has to play it live. So. Because unfortunately that show is going to be recorded earlier than that actual Sunday. So again, our loyal listeners and viewers, it will not be There will not be homilies for the third Sunday of Advent. Sorry, folks. But it will be our anniversary show. And I think some of you have been looking forward to that. We haven't received any other ideas, though. And so we only have a couple of ideas. If you would really like us to revisit something, then you've got to let us know now. I need to know by the 1st, I said on the website, by the 1st of December, so that I could, if I have to go back and look up anything, I only have this week to do it.
Yeah, there you go.
A blotto week for me. So this would be the only week I would have to, I could actually take time out and go back to previous episodes. So if you've got something, please, we need to know now. MondayMorningCatholic@gmail.com is the best place to send it to us. Facebook.com/MondayMorningCatholic is the second best place to get things to us because all of us seem to monitor it. MondayMorningCatholic.net. Nobody likes to use that comment box, but please do. That's what you feel like it. Or if you're really brave, call us on the voice feedback line, 774-955-0659. We would love it if you want to wish us, congratulations on making it to 100. You could leave it there. Think about that in the next couple of days. I really need it like tomorrow.
Yeah.
Once you get this, tomorrow is December 1st.
Yeah.
So.
No, tomorrow's the 30th.
Well, no, remember.
Technically.
Fourth wall again.
Yes. Time warp.
You broke the wall. There you go. There we go. Yes, no more time warping. Everybody knows we record the show on
Sunday. Yes.
But I keep trying to make us think we're in a Monday mode. So
yes, well,
I try. Anyway, please, we would love to. I'm trying to put a package together so that we can, do what you'd like us to do. Some of us want to know more about us. Some want to know more about us, and we're going to have to fess up for all those years.
God only knows why, but
I don't know. But they want to know more about us, so that's one thing we'll do. And then we will revisit a few things. Jason gave us a great idea, so we will go back with that. But I know there's a couple of, before we started this podcast, I spoke about all the audio problems.
Yeah.
And just to let you know, every now and again you get, your volume stays the same, but for me, it gets super, super low, and then it comes back. I don't know. You're not doing anything, just to let you know that's...
And I have this little gadget that when I do it, when I remix for the audio, it's called the levelator.
Ah.
So it levels everything that you might hear. We might, on this YouTube/Hangouts thing, it might fluctuate, but at least for the audio people who sit in their cars or their houses and whatever, listen to it, they get it more level than we do. I don't know how to stop. I don't know how to play with the Google stuff, because I think what you have to do is you have to take it off, put it on your own iMovie, play with it, then put it back up.
Oh, gotcha. And you wonder why we aren't jumping at the opportunity to learn what you do.
Yeah.
I still learned how to do this on the fly.
Yeah,
so.
I know, and you do a marvelous job. I nominate Jason.
Well, thank you.
Hi, Jay.
Okay, we've gone off the rails already. Jeez, we're not even in. We're what? 15 minutes into the show. Jeez. All right. Well, then what we're going to do is we're going to run right into what everybody comes here, we think, to hear about.
Do you hear what I hear?
Do you hear what I hear for the first Sunday of Advent? Yeah, we know. Okay. All right. First Sunday of Advent. I'm not even going to ask what color anybody's using. We'll talk about that later. We'll talk about that later. Yes, where is that? That'll be a discussion in a little bit. But it's interesting where we kind of pick up where we left off last week, believe it or not. Even though we switched to Jeremiah, one of the major prophets, with Jeremiah chapter 33, the days are coming, says the Lord. Boys, that is so prophetic right now.
The days are coming is right. Whoa.
With everything that keeps happening in the world, one cannot ignore the signs. Although if you say that out loud, people think you're absolutely crazy.
Yes, they do.
I know. So I still say it kind of semi out loud in my outside voice.
Yeah.
And I don't care what they think. Because, and again, people in first century Judea probably felt the same way. Boy, the days are coming.
Yeah, they were waiting. They thought it was any day now.
Right. And funny, our society doesn't think that.
No.
It's going to go on forever and ever and ever.
Yeah, yeah.
So, not according to the plan, apparently. So Jeremiah is speaking those prophetic words in our Old Testament reading. The proper psalm of the day is Psalm 25, which is, "To you, O Lord, I lift my soul." But I do know that a lot of people use this as a common psalm for the year, or one of the other common psalms, 85 and
80.
80. Thank you. So who's doing what right now?
85.
You're doing
That's
85.
a common psalm through Advent. Yeah.
Okay, Jason.
Psalm of the day, 25.
You did do. So you're doing Psalm of the Day every week?
Yes.
Really? Okay. Usually it's common psalm land for Advent, but that's all right. Nancy.
25 is a common psalm throughout the season.
25 is a common.
Well, I do common psalm. Normally I do the Psalm of the Day, and I really try to stick to that. But the common psalm for the season of Advent I do for two reasons. One is a very practical reason. It frees up a little time to practice Christmas music.
Well, there you go.
Two, it serves to unify and set apart the season of Advent. We do the same entrance rite every week, and we'll talk about that later. But it does serve to unify the season of Advent.
Yeah, this is tough at the beginning of a new liturgical season, especially at the beginning of a new liturgical year. We want to talk about all the ritual stuff that goes on.
Yeah.
We're saving it.
We'll save it for later.
We'll save it for later. All right, so we've got a 25 and 85 and a weekly psalm. All right, that's good for the season. I forget what I used to. I remember I used to do 25 for cycle A, and then Haugen's
85.
Let us turn to you for cycle.
Oh no, that's 80.
For 80.
Yeah.
So I forget what I used for 85.
Well, I used Haugen's for a long time, and then I decided to start using the Michael Joncas Psalter.
Oh, that's one. That the Haugen one is the one. I had one choir whose name shall remain nameless, but they're fun people who used to make fun of the peas in Jerusalem.
The peas in Jerusalem.
Yeah, peas in Jerusalem is what they were looking for, but it used to be the peas in Jerusalem.
Yes, well.
See where I get all of this ammunition?
Yes.
Right stuff. Real simple. Real simple. It comes to me in pieces.
That's right. It comes.
1 Thessalonians 3. Now we're moving into some different Paul books. The one thing that struck me was Jesus Christ is the faithful witness.
Yeah.
And we've gone from him being the high priest that we heard in Hebrews for weeks, and now he's the faithful witness to all of us. So the focus is shifting as we move towards Christmas, of course. And then we go right into Luke 21. We don't even start at the beginning of Luke. We jump right into the middle of Luke. This is where Jesus is using Daniel's words from last week.
Yeah.
To warn disciples against being complacent. I loved the drunkenness and
yes. Do not become complacent in drunkenness and debauchery. Oh,
debauchery. There you go. Hello. I was like, okay, we're going to talk about that right after Thanksgiving.
Yes.
The debauchery. Well, no, or the gluttony.
Or the third thing was after drunkenness and debauchery. The third thing was the anxiety of the day. Don't let yourself get bogged down in the anxiety of the day. That's interesting.
And everybody's going, yeah, right.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
We're human.
Hey.
Going to get bogged down in this, but we're being told not to. Again, given everything that's been going on in the world, it's so hard not to.
Yeah,
That's the whole thing. So let's see what our homilist said this week. And again, contrary to what people think, we do not rate homilies here.
No, we do not.
We try to give them to you without judgment, but yet we also try to unpack them. We like to look at the weekend liturgy and take a look at everything. So there's a lot to take a look at. So who wants to begin? Don't all.
Okay.
I'll begin.
Okay, Jason, since you're the youngest. And we'll keep telling you that. Thank you.
He opened up his homily with, Lord, I am not worthy that you should enter under my roof, but only say the word and my soul shall be healed. That was his starting point to open his homily, to get people thinking. He's like, we tend to, we go through the motions and we glance over that phrase, but have we been judged worthy? And the whole fact of the Eucharist, and he tied in coming out of Thanksgiving, although it's a secular holiday. He said, we can still bring that idea of giving thanks, or thanks for what God has blessed us in our lives, and we can take that as we begin our Advent journey. So he went through the different weeks of Advent: hope, faith, joy, peace. So he talked about how, a thankful heart is a heart of hope. A thankful heart is a heart of faith. A thankful heart is a heart of joy, and a thankful heart is a heart of peace. And he talked a little bit about the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade, and he was talking about how he watched this documentary of how they put the parade together, and at midnight the night before, they start to bring over the floats across from the Hudson, I think it's the Hudson River or something like that. One of the big bridges, they have to bring the floats over.
The Washington, well, not George Washington.
Henry Hudson is on the
from Weehawken to Manhattan.
Okay.
And they have to bring the floats through the Lincoln Tunnel.
Okay. Oh no! How do you do that?
Well, they have to build the floats in a way that they can take them, essentially break them down, get them to the tunnel, and build them back up again to be ready for the parade. So his whole point was talking about, how they go through all that to break the floats down, to build them back up again, using that imagery to break down Advent. Advent is that breaking down to carry us on the journey to then build us back up when Christ is born on Christmas. He mentioned about the Gospel of Luke, how our year begins with a prediction of the end of time. And then he just wrapped up with, imagine if, this Advent season, we get up at 6 a.m. to pray or something. What can you do to strengthen your Advent journey? Imagine if you make a promise to stand in line for confession. Imagine if you visit a church as often as you visit the mall. In getting prepared for Christmas and all that. So it's the breaking down, the building up, being thankful, being blessed, and to be vigilant at all times, and to pray that you have the strength to escape the tribulations that are imminent, and to stand before the Son of Man and give thanks in all things. So it was a great way to kick off, I guess, if you will.
Yeah, that's the good imagery of breaking things down.
Yeah,
I like the way he did that.
Yeah,
that's good, because this season is not. See, it's tough because the season's not penitential.
Yeah, right.
It's a minor penitential season, but more one of hope and expectation, because that's where how Advent originally began. Yeah, when the Irish monks got in there,
penitential.
And anything with the Irish monks between the 6th and 8th century became penitential. So, but that's it. We needed to return to this hope and expectation, and this is one of the reasons why Mary is really kind of almost knitted to this season towards the second half
Mm-hmm.
because of the birth, maybe the pregnancy and birth type of thing. And it's so important that people get the distinction. 'Cause if it becomes a mini Lent, with Lent coming so soon this year, people are going to be in the middle of Lent going, didn't we just do this?
Yeah.
So
Well, Joanne, what you mentioned about how Mary comes into the picture halfway through Advent. We have an artist in the parish, and he's painted big murals, not big mural, like a big painting. He's done big paintings for the parish before, and this year he painted Mary, but her expecting.
oh, nice.
Oh yeah.
And it's an absolutely beautiful painting and image, and he put it up on a stand on the right side of the altar. And so understanding too that focus as well of that expectant Mary carrying the baby Jesus as we travel through Advent here. So
Can you take a picture of that?
yes, yeah, it's beautiful. It's a really beautiful image.
Yeah, I would like to put that up on
That'd
the.
be nice. Yeah. We'd like to see it.
Nice, yeah.
Because Mary is almost like a metaphor for the whole season. What is the pregnant virgin? She's waiting. She's waiting in joyful hope and expectation,
Right.
which is, sort of the character of Advent for the rest of us too.
Mm.
Oh,
Yeah.
good. All right. Well, that's homily number 1. Ladies, flip a coin. Who wants to go next?
I'll go.
Nancy.
Okay, Nancy's going next. All right.
And it what he had to say kind of was picked up a little bit from what Jason was saying. He had shared. Father talked about the new liturgical year, and the first part of his homily was a little bit instructional for people and what is Advent, what is expected, and yada yada, that type of stuff. But he picked up. He said, "I've had a few people tell me, or ask me rather, is the end of the world coming next year?" Now,
Jeez.
and it brought him forward. He says, for me, when he said that, I remember the old Larry Thies song, "Be watchful and ready, for you know not when the Son of Man is coming." Be ready. And that's always, you're watching and you be ready.
I'm sorry. That particular song gets.
That's fine. It's not the song, it's the word.
Right. The words are fine. The song is. Yeah, I remember that song too well.
Okay. And it's not the song so much as it is the word. So as soon as he said that, whoops.
Oh. Hello.
And so he talked about if the end of the world does come soon, we always have to live a life that if it came the next second, we're ready to go. We've prepared ourselves. Outside, forget the outside. He's talking inside. Have we done everything that we can to make sure that we are in a state of readiness for whenever that comes for us? Joanne's worked with me enough that I always talk about the proverbial bus is going to come in and get you the next second. And we don't know when the time is coming for us or for anybody else in our family, our loved ones, our world for that matter. Nor do we know when Jesus is coming again, the second coming. But Father spoke about what can you do to prepare yourself for the coming of our Lord that we're celebrating in Advent, and in general, how can we get ourselves ready? And it is not a penitential season, true, but he did talk about the sacrament as reconciliation is what it's there for, to get us right inside to meet our Lord, whenever that may be. And so that's how he was talking about it, and he did a very fine job of why we're looking to get yourself ready to go, to get yourself in a state of grace, if you will, for the second coming, for the coming of our Lord, for ourselves. And so basically, and he ended with, "Come, Lord Jesus, come, amen." And that was it. Yeah.
Nice.
and it was just a matter of getting ourselves ready. And I absolutely need, lately everything he's been saying I need to hear so bad.
I hate it when that happens.
I know. So yeah, he the bullet hit right here. So yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
oh, he's talking to me. He must know.
Oh well, he does know. We've talked about that.
But
We
no,
talked about that, but
it's interesting because there are always a lot of predictions and prophecy that you hear in the news. You know, oh yes, the world's supposed to end. Blah blah blah. As much as I can be an anxious, controlling person. That stuff doesn't bother me.
that stuff doesn't bother me either. What bothers me is my proverbial bus. You don't know.
Yeah.
And sometimes I think the proverbial bus is a preferred method.
Yeah.
And it's I truly from the depths of my heart and soul feel and know that God will take me when he wants me.
Yeah.
Whether that's tomorrow, next week, or 30 years down the line. Whenever he's ready, that's when it'll happen. And I've said that to more than one person. They just look at me like I have four heads. And you can't live your life worrying about if the world is going to end tomorrow because of everything that's going on in the world. You can't. You just can't.
No.
And if you've got faith in our Lord, you have faith knowing that in his time. But you need to be ready.
But you need to be ready.
Yeah.
That's right.
Exactly. And nothing against. Go ahead, Jason.
No, I was just going to say, and like you said, Nancy, coming off of what you just said, and it just harkens back to this first weekend of Advent, the whole idea of hope.
That's right. That's right. Absolutely.
And nothing again, when I talk about it not being a penitential season, I never ever take out, but you shouldn't be going.
Oh, yeah. It's not a penitential season like Lent is. That's absolutely true.
It's just there's a lot of breastbeating in Lent.
Yes.
There's a lot of introspectiveness in Lent on self. And where this season is not supposed to be so much inward, okay, as it needs to be hopeful and what are we doing to prepare, but not just ourselves, but our families and our churches and our country. It should be more outward. It should be how can we share this hope with others? That there is a hope.
And I truly think that we can't do that until we're right with ourselves.
Agreed.
Mm-hmm.
Agreed.
Yep.
So yeah.
Okay, Nancy's done. Your turn, Linda.
Yeah, thank you. Our pastor, he took a lot of the same path. He began by saying, "Be vigilant at all times." That is what the Advent season is all about, waiting and being on the watch. Today's gospel passage is apocalyptic in nature, and he always kind of apologizes for using big words. But
well, they should know apocalyptic.
Yes. He said today's passage is apocalyptic in nature, talking about the end times and how we are called to prepare for the coming of Christ again. Not just the coming of Christ as the little baby in the manger in the hay with the sheep, but coming in glory at the end of time. Jeremiah reminds us in our first reading that from David's shoot will come the Messiah, and that we as Christians believe that that Messiah is Jesus. Advent is about preparing our hearts to receive the Lord again into our lives, both his coming again as well as his celebrating his first coming. How prepared are we for the coming of the Lord again? Advent is trying to find some time to spend with God, whether that is by turning off the radio in our car to have a conversation with God, or spending some quality time with our family without the television on. And he went on to describe the Thanksgiving celebration at his mom's house.
Yeah.
He said we had 3 small children. One was 1.5 and just went around trying to catch the dog. But the other two were playing a game. They were playing Operation. And he said it was so refreshing that they weren't sitting in the corner, with thumbs going, on the texting thing, that they were actually interacting with each other. It was really nice to see the two of them playing together, and they were not on computers or iPads. Why can't we make a little more effort to spend some quality family time? And he did expound a little bit on the guy turning off his radio in the car, in that the driving now had a purpose, rather than just mindlessly listening to something. That the driving now had a purpose, that it was a little time, that a little me and God time. So as we enter into this holy season, we also know that we will be rushing around, baking, cooking, shopping, going to parties, and so forth. And this special season can get away from us. So today we need to have a game plan. And he's very fond of sports references. I don't mean how the Pats are going to try and beat the Broncos tomorrow type game plan, but rather we need to have a plan to find some time to be vigilant and allow God to speak to us in the depths of our hearts. We all have crazy schedules, but maybe if we try to make some time in this season of preparation, we can truly prepare for the coming of the Lord. That was it.
And I thought it was, especially when he was talking about the kids, and he said, and they were playing Operation, but not the Operation.
Yeah.
It was
SpongeBob Operation.
Yes, and I'm sitting there in the pew going, oh no. SpongeBob has become the Barney of this.
I know.
I hated Barney. So.
But I was sitting back there thinking, what does SpongeBob have inside? Does he have a liver? Does he have a funny bone? No, he's got sponge.
Well, he might have a few other things, but we don't want to know about them.
No.
So there you go.
Anyway, it was a nice, it was a nice balance of trying to do that apocalyptic gospel reading.
It's very morbid.
Yeah, well, it is. It's tough to hear.
Yeah.
And we heard it last week. We heard it in the first week.
People will die of fright. Wow. It's
well,
bad.
that's. I mean, when you see all the stuff that's going to happen, yeah, probably some people will.
Yeah.
I mean, but it's not something that you can dwell on.
No,
That's right.
The whole thing.
You
If you
can.
try to dwell
Live your
on
life to the
you have to
fullest.
just
You
think of
have to.
Nancy's. You have to think of Nancy's bus. Okay.
yeah, think of Nancy Bus coming down.
I look at. Just take the current events down out in Colorado.
Oh,
There are
God.
3 families out there that hadn't a clue that they're not going to see their loved one again.
Yeah.
I know like I said, just gotten so out of hand.
Yes.
It's almost like the Wild West, but in those days they didn't report about it.
Yeah.
These things may have been going on, and and all the gunslingers, and you see all the westerns and stuff, but no one ever really reported on it.
Yeah.
Newspapers were in abundance in those days, so no one really knew.
Media is huge. Media is a huge component of all of this. You're right.
Oh, yeah, it is.
And the speculations that they do in media, while they're waiting for information, the talking heads are, flapping their little jaw.
Yeah. Speculating, and it's like,
Spinning.
what?
All kinds of things that could be going on, and then they go, oh, but that didn't happen.
Yeah.
Now you've got a whole entire world in a frenzy because they
An earlier report was wrong.
yeah.
Well, why didn't you just keep your mouth shut?
Go to your regular programming. Come back
Yeah.
and do news for me.
Well,
Exactly.
that happened the other day. The president was coming to make a statement on what was happening in France.
Mm-hmm.
And evidently they gave the press a 2-minute warning, and everybody shut down,
Yep.
the programming to take this. And there was a delay in the president coming out, and the guy was like speculating which door he was going to come in. It was like, what?
Oh.
You really have nothing to say. Why don't you just be quiet?
Well, here's what I was. Now, I happen to have my TV on as white noise behind
Yes, I
working.
do that all the time.
Right. So I was watching. I happen to be watching.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. And all I could think of was they had just getting to the showcase round,
Yeah.
and they cut it. And all I could think of was when my mom, God bless her soul, was in the nursing home, and every TV would be tuned onto
Yes.
The Price is Right. And if they did something like that, you'd hear them. Well, why did they do that for?
Yeah, what
What
happened?
about the showcase? What happened with
My TV broke.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So can you imagine all the old people in the world who were waiting to see the showcase round? It got cut. So then our channel 12, which is CBS here, decides to go to the regular news because they're still waiting. The
Yeah.
guy gets starting with the news and he goes, and now we're going to the White House.
Now we're going to the White House. It's like, jeez. But this guy had nothing to say.
Such an epic fail.
Yeah.
It was such an epic fail.
And he started, and he just talked and talked and talked and said nothing.
Mm-hmm. You know? And there's
There's no way to stop him, no.
No, there isn't. But the problem is that they want to be first. So if they buy some time, something will happen.
Yep.
Okay.
Well, nothing happened.
Well, nothing happened, and you probably ticked off a lot of old people. So there you
Yeah.
go. All right. So our homilies are
Our
done.
homilies.
That was a good way to start off the first Sunday of Advent. Again, if you have homilies you'd like to share from this very first Sunday of the new liturgical year, MondayMorningCatholic@gmail.com would be the great place to send them to us. Facebook.com/MondayMorningCatholic if you want the whole world to see it. MondayMorningCatholic.net comment box, another place for the whole world to see it. Well, maybe all the 3 people that go to the website.
Yeah.
Voice feedback line 774-955-0659 if you're brave. All right, let us move on to, and I can't see it. There it is. This week's Voice of the People, and it was a slow news week. Let me tell you, with over 500 shares and counting, was the Catholic Diocese of Salt Lake investigating a bleeding host. Yes, kid you not, folks.
A purported bleeding host.
Reported. However, a picture is worth 1,000 words. And
Absolutely.
we do have this up on our Facebook page, and upon seeing it and having a lot of experience in this area of dissolving hosts as a liturgy, that one's a little miraculous.
Yeah.
I got to admit, usually within a day or two, it's putty at the bottom of a cup.
Yeah.
It really is. And this thing is still in fair shape, but it's red.
Yeah.
So, whatever they need to do, let's find out. But this one, I'm kind of leaning towards.
Yeah. Well, people tend to be very hungry for these kind of manifestations.
No pun intended.
No pun intended. No. They will flock to these kind of manifestations because faith is hard, I mean, the same thing happens every week in every church, in every diocese.
Mm-hmm.
But you don't see the blood.
No.
Well, it goes back to what Jason said a few minutes ago. Hope.
Yeah.
Yeah. This could be a sign of something, and I think the way the world's going lately, God's trying to tell us in many different ways, shapes, and forms, I'm still here. Ask me to help you. I will, I'm here. Just call on me. And
I grew up with this whole notion. My maternal grandfather came from a town of Bolsena where the Eucharistic miracle that gave rise to the Feast of Corpus Christi.
Mm-hmm. My girlfriend's husband's come from Bolsena as well. So
so I grew up with this every Sunday around the dinner table. We would hear tales of the miracle at Santa Cristina, and so when I see these things, I'm like, these things really affect people, and it's like, yeah, God is like, I'm here. You know, if you won't believe it when you come into a church and hear the priest say, "This is my body, this is my blood," I'm going to have to do something a little more dramatic.
Yeah, because everything else has been done before.
Yeah.
Although bleeding hosts have been done before too.
Bleeding hosts have also been done before, yes.
We had that conversation a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
Miracles, been done. Parting of the Red Sea, been done. But you have to understand, the Diocese of Salt Lake sits in the middle of LDS land. Okay.
Oh, yes.
All right.
course
So, and the Mormons, God love them, are, believe it or not, are a lot closer to our sensibilities than a lot of denominations anymore.
Uh-huh.
Whether you want to totally believe what they believe or not. Okay? But they are very respectful of the Catholics. So for them to report on something like this and nobody else, I think is, number one, hysterical.
Yeah.
And please do not be offended, Catholic folk, when you go to this particular site and you see their wording. You know, a host was returned to the father overseeing the service.
Yeah.
This obviously is a Mormon person who understands service and does not understand what the father does.
Yeah.
You know, so it's people who, while very respectful of who we are, and not judgmental, they don't know what we do.
Yeah. Right.
So just know that. But you know, they're saying 3 days later, they said the host was still floating and appeared to be bleeding, and that would not normally happen when what they have it in is what's called an ablution bowl. Ablution bowl.
Ablution bowl, yeah.
Right, and it's the one that's usually near the tabernacle where you put your fingers in after communion to cleanse your hands. That's usually what it's used for. So people were saying, how could this be? Why didn't the priest consume it? Well, priest didn't know where it came from.
Yeah.
Apparently, it was returned. So it could, and I did put this up on the Facebook page, it could have been found on the floor. And of course, you wouldn't really, unless you're doing the 5-second rule, you really would not consume it. And I have heard of people finding them in missalettes.
Yes.
You know, where people get them, don't know what to do with them, they're not Catholic.
Stick them in the hymnal, yeah. Yeah.
So, seriously,
we found them at St. Thomas.
We are not kidding, folks.
Nope.
So that's why he put it in the next best thing. Because just sending it down this aquarium, which is what
there was some, I read the comments after the article on one of the things that you posted, and there were some folks that actually were more worried about, why was it returned? That's the piece that doesn't matter, folks.
Right.
Yeah. Why was it returned?
That piece doesn't matter.
Right. The last thing you want it to do also is to get into the hands of the wrong people.
That's right.
Unless it was in a spot that did get some biologic material that is making this happen, versus it being a miracle. Anything is possible. Anything is possible.
But just the fact, Nancy, that
it hasn't decomposed. Yeah, it dissolved, yes. Absolutely, I agree with you.
Yeah.
Are they supposed to release results of an?
I would hope they do. It says the results. It said the work of the committee is recent reports. Let's see. The diocesan administrator, because there is no bishop in Salt Lake right now. Bishop Wester went to Santa Fe, so they don't have a bishop at the moment.
There's a Monsignor overseeing this investigation.
Has appointed ad hoc committee of individuals with various backgrounds to investigate the matter. The work of the committee is now underway. The results will be made public. Host is now in the custody of the diocesan administrator. Contrary to rumor, there is no current plans for public exposition or adoration. They won't do anything until they know what it is.
Yeah, until they know what it is, which makes sense.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Right. So they can't, because it's just like that window that had condensation. Everybody thought it was the Blessed Mother.
Yeah, right.
At one point. You know, these things need to be looked at, and it's not because we would rather have unbelievers find it miraculous than believers declare it so without really looking at it.
Yeah.
That's why causes of saints are always brought up against people who are scientific. That's the whole thing. You want to get the scientific community involved in this because they are non-believers. And if they can't figure it out,
you know,
then it's a pretty good safe bet.
Yes.
that we're looking at a miracle here. So we'll keep you on tap with this as we get more information. I have friends in Salt Lake Mormon friends who will send me information on this.
She has her sources.
Yeah, I have. They think it's very, they believe it faster than we do.
Yeah.
Because they know that this is something unusual that must be from someplace else. And again, it's just, I just find it strange that it has not dissolved. That's why I'm sort of betting and saying, I'm thinking, I'm pretty sure this might be a miracle. So we'll keep track of it for you since it was your pick of the week, and we will get back to you as soon as we have any more information.
Right.
Lovely. Let us now go backwards too, because it is the first Sunday of Advent, and we have to talk about it. Of course, the right stuff, liturgy and ritual. Okay, folks, how many of you blessed an Advent wreath this weekend?
We did.
Okay, everybody blessed an Advent wreath. Now, what color did you? And if you don't want to go on record, then
No, I don't care.
gracefully.
We just got finished saying that Advent was not a penitential season.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
You know how people split hairs on the color of blue-purple.
That's right.
Oh.
And so what the color we use is a purple that is more to the blue than to the red. Okay? So you can split hairs however you want, but this is the way our particular community differentiates the character of Advent and the character of Lent.
There you go.
That's all I have to say about that.
From the other gallery, what have we got?
Purple.
So which are we more towards blue, purple, or
Nope. Purple.
Purple.
And purple. All right. Yeah, this is a tough one because the blue is not a liturgical color in the United States. So when anybody says blue, everybody starts going boo.
Yeah, right.
That's not it. But it should, the two they have come out with at some point I read and cannot quote at the moment. Maybe Nancy might know once I say it. You might, Nance, from all that work you did, that the colors of Advent and purple need to be distinguished. They should not
From the Lenten purple,
not be the same, nor should they have, the little appliques of thorns and crown of thorns and that kind of thing in Advent. But you've got to understand,
I know.
years I have seen many things.
Oh, yes.
I don't think I've ever seen blue. I've never seen that.
Oh, he's young, isn't he?
Yes, he's young.
I don't think I've seen that.
I have no problem with that
It's a
that
very
blue color that
dark-
you're talking about. I've seen it. It's a lovely representation of the season. I have no
Yeah.
problem with it.
It's a very dark blue that is, they call it sarum blue
Yeah.
because it's harvested from shellfish in the Sarum region of England.
Now we're getting real interesting.
Wow.
Yes. It's harvested from the shellfish in the Sarum region of England, and it was used to make purple vestments at one point.
Oh, there you go.
But then they started adding more red to it to get a different kind of purple.
So it is a purple onto its own, but
it is
towards
a
the
purple,
blue.
but it's way toward the blue. More toward the blue than the.
Yeah,
I mean,
I like it. I
the red.
love it.
So your red purple is the one that
It's
needs
the one for Lent.
for
yeah.
Lent. That's the whole thing. And your blue or purple.
Because you mix red and blue to get purple, okay?
Exactly.
And for Advent, you're going to go more to the blue. We go more to the blue. And for Lent, we go more to the red. Okay.
But it's tough because then you get these candle makers who make light blue candles. And you
Well,
say,
no light blue. That's no light blue. No.
wrong.
And some people actually wear gray.
Gray's
I've
another.
seen gray vestments in the what's the name of that?
No, well, we're not promoting anybody.
Okay, well, that catalog.
In that
I've actually seen gray vestments.
Yep, I've seen them. I've seen them too, piped with blue.
Yeah. not bad.
So, yeah, it's just one of those. It's an odd thing, and there's like this little mini war that goes on between
Yeah,
litter.
but you know, it used to be a lot worse. Now it's like,
Yeah, you're right, Linda.
a lot worse.
yeah, it used to be a lot worse. And now it's like, yeah, whatever.
CJ, we've gone through it to spare you the problem.
Yes.
Thank you. Oh,
How's that? We've gone through it to spare you the problem. So anything else happen, in your liturgies this week, other than anything else go on?
We just do. We used incense for the wreath.
Okay.
For the wreath.
Smells came out.
And we do the same entrance rite each week, the same music.
are we all singing the Kyrie?
No.
Yep, I am. Well,
No.
I'm singing the penitential rite with the gathering rite using O Come, O Come, Emmanuel.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nancy, is it the Rory Cooney, Gary Daigle?
I believe so.
Yeah, I use the same one. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Of course, my second mass, I'm singing it, and I'm going somewhere along the line. I dropped 2 measures. I went, it's one of those things. Okay.
Ouch.
I'll end it here.
And Betty's going, ah!
Yeah.
She got back at me, and she didn't lower the psalm for me, so I was tightening things up quite a bit.
Notice how accompanist can get back at you.
Even. She says we're even. I said no.
Ooh.
Nice.
I looked over. She's at the piano. I'm going, that song's not coming down anything.
Yeah.
That's not coming down at all. All right. Let's see what we can do here.
That's right.
As an older vocalist, some songs need to come down for me.
This is true.
So Linda, you don't do the penitential rite?
We're not singing it. No.
Okay. No, that's okay.
Yeah, we sing it during Lent. But again, we didn't want to highlight it because Advent is, not a penitential season. So we just didn't.
Hey, as long as nobody launched into the Gloria, that's all.
No Gloria.
No. On the first Sunday of Advent.
No Gloria. Nope.
I have seen that as a mistake on the first Sunday of Advent a few times.
Oh yeah.
Glory to God.
Yeah. Glory to God.
Let us pray.
It would have been my mistake since we always chant it. So fortunately, I didn't make that one.
That's true. Well, that's good. Yikes. Nobody did a rite of acceptance today.
No,
No.
not today.
'Cause I know in some places that's a traditional place, and I'm like, why do you do that?
Yeah, and
Once.
we did it there at one time, and then we decided, no, it's just too much.
Too much. I was going to say too much at this, yeah.
It's too much.
It is too much because there's so many things going on already. You've just
everything changes. At least in our parish, the acclamations change. Everything changes, and then you slap the RCIA on top of it.
Yeah.
And it can get mushy very fast.
Yeah.
Exactly. The only other thing now going on in Advent this year is this year of mercy, which begins officially on December 8th, which is the Immaculate Conception. But most dioceses are beginning on the weekend of the 12th, 13th.
Yeah.
Well, that's the first weekend, yeah.
Yeah.
After it starts, yeah.
So that's coming up now in a lot of places. And if you want to see, it's in his Not on the Road this week video. Bishop Christopher Coyne, of course. He's always in front of these things. He actually had a Porta Sancta, Holy Door, built inside the co-cathedral.
Yeah.
Now, I think I know exactly, now that I saw the video this week of him, I know exactly where they put it. They actually put it in the middle aisle. It's at the head middle aisle. Door is right there. So I'm saying to myself, poor people in the pews, like right next to it.
Yeah.
But there would have been no other place to put it. Or if you were going to close one of the other doors, there probably would have been a fire law.
Yeah.
That would have gotten violated. So, I mean, in Rome, they don't, the Holy Door is usually covered up. It's in a special place, and it's usually covered up. Correct, Linda?
Yes.
They put a wall behind.
They knocked the wall down this week.
Yeah.
In preparation.
Yeah, so it's behind a wall usually. But when you're using doors as doors, you can't do that. So he had one built.
Yeah.
And it reflects the architecture of the co-cathedral very well.
Mm,
Being in there, it's a very early American looking building.
yeah.
And he's going to close I guess the door will be closed symbolically, and then he'll open it up.
Yeah.
Because he has to have it open right now, because
Yeah.
or it's not in the middle aisle. I'm not sure if it's something portable.
Mm,
Didn't show me if it was something they could like pick up and move
yeah. Yeah.
type of thing, but knowing him, and then they did a whole big video on it.
Yeah. It was nice.
And if you look at, they have a separate website for it. So I took a look at that website today and went through it, and he's having a gathering every month of a different group in the diocese.
Mm,
Celebrate the Jubilee year. I mean, we're talking grade school children, catechists, liturgical ministers, musicians, deacons. He's having separate ceremonies, all with reception afterwards. Light refreshments.
if you feed them, they will come.
If you exactly right that. So, but I think that's really great that all of the ministers in the Diocese of Burlington will have a chance to, I haven't seen what we're doing in the Archdiocese of Boston. I'm sure Boston has some things going on at the Cathedral of the Holy Cross.
Is anybody hearing that?
Yeah, somebody's trying to call somebody.
Not me.
Not me.
Me.
It's not my chair, is it? I got a real creaky chair.
No. It's the
No.
sound.
It was the sound of
The sound you hear when somebody's trying to call you.
Oh, no.
yeah. You all heard it. Okay, that's really freaky.
I don't see anybody trying to call me.
No, I don't have anything.
I don't have anything either, so that was like really freaky.
Yes.
But I want to go to one last thing, so we are going to go a little over time.
That's all right. We'll do it fast.
And that's because it is very timely. The Pope is in Africa. And of course, the only one who's been following him is Linda.
Yes.
So, Linda, why don't you give us a little update on the Pope?
I thought it was interesting that, every time the Pope took a breath, it was covered when he was here. Now he's been over in Africa, and nobody in the United States cares.
They'll care again when he goes to Mexico.
Yeah. Well, anyway, I was watching portions of a liturgy there, and they showed the Gloria. First of all, the choir looked like there was about 500 people in the choir.
Sure, not the United States.
It looked like they had taken choirs, like there were groups of people that were dressed alike, and they were all in the choir.
Oh, wow.
So it looked like they had taken a bunch of choirs and put them together. But they did this Gloria. I can't tell you what language it was in. It was in Kenya. And it was, I mean, there are people, I'm sure, European, American people who would look at that and say, oh my Lord, what a thing to do in church. But if you look at this thing, it's so authentic. These people are so filled with spirit and praise. And they can't keep still. They move, the clergy and the laity. They're moving, they're singing, and they don't care what you think of them because they're praising the Lord. So that was the Gloria. Then comes the Liturgy of the Word. And I see this procession starting, and I'm thinking, well, I haven't read anything yet, so it can't be the gospel procession. And what it is a woman with a big basket on her head.
Oh, dear.
In this basket is the lectionary.
Oh, my.
And she's got like a court of like 4 women on either side, and they're escorting her as she dances up the stairs to the sanctuary. And the lector who's going to read takes the book from the bowl and brings it over to the ambo. And then she dances her way down the stairs and goes.
Oh, wow.
It was very moving. It really was. And I was reading a little bit about it, and they said, you talk about elements of enculturation, and they said that the people of Kenya would have been most upset if when the Vatican people came in, they did not allow this to happen, because this is the way they show their deep reverence for the Word of God.
Ah, okay.
And
Wow.
so while it may look completely foreign to us European American types, if they had been banned from doing it, they would have been very upset, because this is the way they show their reverence. So it's and the Pope, a couple of statements that, well, one anyway, that I heard the Pope say, this is my church. My church is not the church of the career clergy. My church is this church.
Ooh.
Yeah. So I've been finding it very interesting, and mostly from Facebook. People have been posting this stuff on it, on the liturgies, and they're very powerful and they're very authentic. And if you're looking to enculturate, go watch them.
Mm.
There you go.
Well, that's the whole thing. Enculturation is, when you're dealing with enculturation, it's the chance for the societal or the societal traditions and all of that. And I think Africa probably they've had the most problems enculturating, because we Westerners just believe, well, here's the way it goes, and
Yes, and Lord's sakes, we don't move.
right.
For heaven's sakes.
Yeah, you gotta have permission to go to the bathroom.
Yeah.
Thing.
But it's as natural to them as breathing.
It is, and they're very expressive people.
Yes.
And
it's beautiful to see. It really is beautiful.
Unfortunately,
And
I have
makes
not
me,
followed this.
It makes me want to. It makes you want to join in.
Well, and then they'd probably be happy if we did.
Yeah, they probably would be.
They more than likely would be. Well, I'm glad you've been following it, Linda. He's at the end of the trip, correct?
Yeah, he was in Uganda yesterday, I think, and he's going to somewhere in Central Africa today.
And then he goes.
And then he goes home. Yeah.
So it's a short trip.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna have to go back and watch some of the video now, because I do want to see some of that liturgical stuff.
Yeah, watch that. It's really interesting. Very interesting.
Piques my interest.
Yeah.
We had one more thing, but we will not go into it because we've gone over time. So maybe.
Yes, and we don't want to open that can of worms.
Oh,
Some people would like me to go into it. Other people wouldn't. So I.
Well, we can go into it next week.
All right. Okay. So that's it, folks. Let us tell you again where you can send things to us. And again, we're going to be putting together our 100th show, so we'd really like your input. So we're down to the wire now. We need it by tomorrow, December 1st. If you're listening to this after that, you can try to send it, but if it's like January 1st of 2016, don't bother.
Yeah.
It'd be mondaymorningcatholic@gmail.com as our email address, facebook.com/mondaymorningcatholic. You can put it up on the Facebook page. That gets to us right away. mondaymorningcatholic.net in the comment box, or if you're brave, the voice feedback line, 774-955-0659. Jason, you think you're going to be able to do this a few more times before Stephen comes back? Or
yes.
Great. That's great.
Okay.
As long as you'll have me.
Oh, we love it.
And we'll take you big headphones and all.
Yes.
No, I had to make, whatever, I'm for whatever makes you sound good.
That's right.
So.
I hope
and
it sounds
that makes you sound good.
good.
It really does. And then the levelator takes it from there.
Yeah.
So this first Sunday of Advent has been a very interesting one as we enter the season now. We ask you to, let's see, it's got to be prayers that we can find the hope in ourselves, in our world, in our families, because I think there are a lot of people walking around without hope, or a different sense of hope, and we need to ask God to come back and give us the real hope, the hope that that He loves us and that we'll be one with Him. So please, folks, that's your prayer, hopefully, for this week. And we will get back next week. Will be number 99. We'll have lots of jokes for that. And we hope you'll be here with us. So for Jason Hervey, Linda Reed, Nancy Smith, and myself, Joanne Mercier, thank you so much for being here with us. Please pray for us. We'll pray for you. And as always, see you soon. Ciao for now.